How's everybody doing today? Great to see you guys here, you very high manifestors here. So, questions. Got a lot of questions, but here's something that came to me that I want to share with you that I think you all should know. And a lot of questions I've been getting, it's about like abundance, wealthy. People want to have wealth. They want to have, enough money, finance, whatever. They want things in their life to flow. They just want to be in a position where they can go through their life, live their full desires, live their full life without have to worry about, money, bills, debt, whatever it is. They want to have you want to have a comfortable life, right? You want to have more than enough money you need to live the life you desire, right? Something like that, right? Well, check this out. I'm going to teach you right now how to use your higher self to do exactly that. You can use your higher self to make you rich, man. Whatever rich means for you. Rich could mean that you just have enough money that your life is good. You don't have to worry about money. That's the definition of rich for some people. Rich could mean owning a big businesses, whatever it is. Whatever your perception of wealth or rich is, I'm going to show you how to do that right now. I'm going to show you something that's a lot that gets overlooked and that you have to start to exercise this. All right. Here's a trippy thing about this. I'm going to talk about my personal self first. Then I'm going to reflect it to you guys, okay? Hello from Tuscany, Italy. Hello, everybody. All right, look. This gets overlooked. Me, this is 2% of who I am. What you're seeing right now, touch yourself. Go ahead, touch your body. Feel your face. Go ahead, touch all that stuff. Go ahead, do it. That's 2%. That's not you. The 98% doesn't live here. The you is a projection of consciousness. You is the higher self. You are intuition, knowledge, downloads, subconscious communicator. You are that silent voice. Listen to me now. It's that voice that gets overplayed by your ego. It's that one voice that always sound like everything will work out. It's the one voice that sound like it doesn't believe it will work out. It knows it will work. It's that one voice that just knows what it knows. And I'm going to show you how you can plug into that. But let me go to my journey, how I discovered this voice and this thing. It was the lottery of all things. I wanted to manifest this very car I'm sitting in here right now. And I wanted to do it through the lottery because I discovered what I'm teaching you, that none of this stuff is a physical reality. It's all energy dense in a particle. An atom has electrons. Electrons are conscious. Every single thing have a consciousness, man. Everything in the world has a consciousness. It can obey you. It can disobey you. That means that you have authority over the physical reality in your world. So let me show you what happened with me. So I wanted to go win this lottery because I wanted to buy this very car here. They only made 10 of this car. So it's a classic. It's an 04 E46 M3 Dakar yellow car. Fell in love with this car when I seen it. Didn't have the money to buy the car. So what I do? I went into the lottery. I said, you know what? If this stuff is true, I'm going to manifest and win the lottery to buy this very car. And of course, it happened. I won the lottery and I bought the car just the way I said I was going to do it. But I did it by tapping into a higher version of myself, the higher self. So what did I do to start to tap into this? Well, once I realized that's only 2% of me here, then I can actually start to speak to me out loud. Every day I would talk to myself. I would talk to my higher self, man. Every day, man. I would say, you know what? Hey, da-da-da. Make sure this happens for me. This is what I desire. Make it happen. Show me the way. Put me in the right place at the right time. At this time was the lottery. Like, put me in the right place. Put me in the right store at the right time to win a top prize. Okay, which store should I go to today to play? And when I go to bed, I would always get an image of a store, and I'd go there and I'd play and I win. And that's how I used to communicate with my higher self. He used to tell me stuff. I used to talk. I said, hey, give me a sign, da-da-da-da. And all these signs started popping up, man. I started seeing synchronicities everywhere. I started seeing 7s and 8s. I started seeing the color of my car. I was flabbergasted. My mind was blown. I was like, wait, this stuff cannot be true. This is not what I learned in school. This is not what religion taught me. This is not what the world is showing me. So what's going on here? Am I being duped? Is there something I'm missing here? And I was being duped. But I was being duped by the world. See? That's where I was being duped. I didn't know that I had the power in me to manifest and create stuff. So you know what I said? All right, I'm going to put this thing to the test. So I developed a system and a routine. So what I would do is every night, right before I would go to sleep, I would write down the things that I wanted answers to, change, manifest, whatever. I could either write it down or I would just remember them in my mind. And then right before I go to bed, I would open the channel to my higher self. I always open a channel to my higher self. And you know how I open my channel? I just relax, I take a nice deep breath, and I just say, hey, that's it. I just say hello. Just like that, hello. And I relax and I talk. And I would talk in questions. I would say, for example, I'm just using the lottery because this is what I got into and this is how I manifested. But you can use this in any format. So I would just say something like, hey, all right, I would like to win $500 on a scratch off or more. You know, which store should I go to buy the scratch off? Bam. When I go to sleep, and as soon as I wake up in the morning, a store pops in my head. I go to the store. You know what? I won the scratch off. So I took it to the next level. I said questions like, all right, how can I solve this issue? What's the best way to do this? Hey, give me a sign for this. Show me this. Hey, this person that I'm communicating with, should I continue to invest with this person or should I continue? Man, the answers would just come to me and it was so phenomenal, right? So while this was going on, I was also learning something else from my higher self. I was learning to be more aware because then I started to pick up the language. You know, sometime when my higher self talks to me, because it's so complex and it's in a different dimension, it talks to me in a lot of signs, right? I would get signs, numbers a lot. I would get feelings, and then I started picking up. I was like, oh, so this is my higher self. And then I started to learn when is my higher self and when is my ego. I started to cut off I got so good at this stuff. I knew when it was my higher self and I knew when it was my ego, so I had to separate the both of them. But this takes practice. So this is what I'm here to show you and to teach you, that if you want to make more money, all you have to do is go into your authentic self. You can talk to your authentic self in questions, but now there's a way you have to do it. Okay, there's a certain way you have to do it, because remember, when we're communicating, we're using our subconscious, which is illogical. So you don't go to your authentic self in a state of need. You don't say, hey, I need you to make me more money. You're not going to get into your authentic self that way, because your authentic self doesn't operate in need. It's just purely abundance of infinity. So if you want to go to your higher self, you got to go into there like you're already rich, like you're already abundant. You can't go in there in a lack mindset, and a poor mindset, and a depressed mindset, because then your subconscious is going to shut the channel off. Because to get to your higher self, you got to go through your unconscious mind, right? So you can do that. So someone asked me, does it work better than writing it down 3, 6, 9 times? Of course. This is what I'm teaching you. You don't have to do 3, 6, 9, man. 3, 6, 9 is for their subconscious. You know that, right? Why don't you just go to you and then let you send information to the subconscious, man? The subconscious obeys the higher self. The subconscious is a tool for the higher self. So it's like this. Okay, why go to the middleman when you can go to the owner? If someone's selling you a product, why go to the middle guy? Just go to the guy that's selling the product. Wouldn't that be easier? So yes, it works better than 3, 6, 9. And there again, here's how it works. Right before you go to bed, just relax, take a nice deep breath. You got to know that you have an authentic self exists out there. It talks to you through your intuition. It shows you signs and synchronicities. We know this now. Quantum physics is even showing us this. You all have it. It's just that you filtered it out through the dominant thinking of your conscious mind. It's always there, ready to help you. You go to your authentic self. You say, hey, the business I'm starting, give me a sign to let me know which direction I should go to. Hey, the business I'm starting, bring me the investors that will make my business 10,000, 20,000. Show me what's the next step to do. That's it. You say it one time just like that. But then when you go to sleep now, here's the thing now. It's a two double factor. So when you go to sleep, you fall asleep visualizing the outcome of what you just said to your higher self. For example, my business making that, da da da. You fall asleep visualizing the business being successful. I fall asleep visualizing I won the lottery. See how it goes? It's a two-step process. One is the highest communication to my authentic self. Two, I send now the signal to my subconscious in the visual. Then my authentic self says, all right, Mark, I got you. I'm finally glad you woke up and see who you really are, man. So let me send information to your subconscious so you can go get your business started, so you can go get more health, so you can go do whatever it is that you want to do. You have to talk out loud to yourself. And you know what? Then it suddenly dawned on me, man. I was like, so this is my personal opinion. So I said to myself, so this is why they shun you from talking to yourself. This is why there's this stigma that when you talk out loud to yourself, you're a dupe, you're a crazy, you're a wacko. I was like, I was wondering why they did that. All crazy people talk out loud to themselves. That's what stuck with me. And I was like, that's why they did that. They did that to deter me from finding me. Society looks up on me if I talk to myself like I'm a wacko. Then I was like, I'm going to be the greatest wacko in the world because I'm going to keep talking to myself because they don't know what they're missing. They don't know what's working. And I kept doing it every day. I talk to myself in public. Wherever I go, I talk under my breath where I could hear it. I don't care what nobody says because they are still asleep. So while they're sleeping, I'm abundantly growing. You have to start doing that. Now, check this out. I started doing this years ago. Now, the other day, I like to do a lot of reading and catch up on scientific stuff, mind, conscious, all that. There's an article and a study now shows that people who talk to themselves are more highly intelligent, are more highly aware, and their brains are more optimistic. Whoa! Look at that now. When you talk to yourself, it does something to the neurons in your brain. It does something to your vibration. This is a study that came out. Go look it up for yourself. Research shows that people who talk to themselves are more likely to be successful than those who don't. I know the answer to that. But the science will say, well, the answer to that is because when you hear your vocal cords and you talk to yourself, your mind can comprehend it. Yeah, that's all that true. But the real answer is when you're talking to yourself, you understand that this is not you. You know who you are. So you're separating the 3D to the 5 dimension. You are in a state of knowing. You now know how this universe works. And when you talk to yourself, you get that. Now, I can attest to this because this is how I won the lottery. Here's the card. You can see it for yourself. My book's on Amazon. You can go check it out. You can watch my YouTube channel. It's all this. If you've been following me, you know the deal of how this works. And I've been doing this all the time, and I continue to do this, especially with the lottery. These numbers, I used to see them. I used to say, hey, I like that number right there. Let that number come out. That number would come out, man. I say, show me some signs if I should play that number. I would play that number. It just got so fascinating to me that sometimes I was in a state of shock or disbelief. But I figured it, and I said, you know what? I think this is why I'm here on this planet. Because I have to show people and let them be aware. Whoever's aware. Whoever's not aware, fine. I put the message out. Whoever receives it, good for you. I can't force you to comprehend something. I can only put it out to you. And if you're receptive, and if you're tuned in, and if you're awakened, then you will receive it and you will wake up. There's some people that are not going to wake up right now. So this message may get someone and go over their head. And that's fine. In the due time, maybe they'll wake up. Maybe they'll come back to this video 2 months, 3 months later, and it pops up again. But the point is, I'm showing you something that's very profound and powerful, that you have to communicate to your authentic self, because it's an infinite dimensional universe or multiverse, and it will funnel the information to you to manifest or create your life. Forget about what your regular mind is teaching you or telling you. It is severely limited, man. It's severely limited. So for you to get wealthy or successful, start doing this. Start creating this process. set it up if you're good at writing it down so you can remember and talk it out. And listen, let me give you some advice. When you go to your higher self and you talk to your higher self, don't go in there like you're, oh, hey, hello, it's you. Talk to it like you. There's nothing. It's just like, hey man, develop your own lingo, your language. Call it whatever you want to call it. It's connected to you, and it sees all things, and it can manifest a whole bunch of success in your life. And you do that, and then you get the signs, you get the synchronicities. It even will send information to you in dreams, man. It's a fascinating concept, and this just goes to show further proof that we definitely do live in an illusion, or like a dream of a simulation. Because if something you can see and talk out, you can see something in your mind, in the vision or the imagination of your mind, and then that thing actually coagulates and becomes a physical experience. That's very trippy, man. And that's the thing about it. So once you get that concept, you understand that this is all an imagination, and there is an intelligence that's above this, that's guiding and directing you, and it's you that's generating all of this. That's very powerful, and freeing to know that. And that's what I want to share with you today, so you can go start doing this and put it to the test. All right, guys, I'll see you again.